Alright you guys, welcome back to a brand new video. We are still continuing the Christopher Nolan SZN series. We are on, I believe, his 7th movie, which is Inception. It was released in 2010. So this film stars Leonardo DiCaprio, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Ellen Page, Tom Hardy, and Cillian Murphy.
Alright, so this film is about a thief named Cobb, which is played by Leonardo DiCaprio. And what he does basically is he goes in people's dreams and he basically tries to steal information from them. And that's made him like a big time criminal to where he cannot go home, basically. And he's offered a chance to redeem himself, I guess you can say, with another big job that includes Inception, which is going into someone's mind and planting an idea in their head to where it seems like it's their own. So that's like the ultimate job, I guess, for him. And through all that, it turns into a crazy maze of a film, basically.
So this movie starts off a little confusing until you get a little more into the beginning of it and understand what actually is going on and what's happening and how it all starts.
Yeah, this film does take a while to, I wouldn't say a while, but it takes a minute to explain exactly what's going on and kind of builds it up. I mean, in the very beginning, you don't realize that they're in a dream, but then you obviously figure that out, but then there's also other twists and turns that you didn't know they were in a dream at that point until he says he is. Yeah, like, so the film is crazy because it's so complex and you have to think about it to understand it. Like, as far as just how crazy it is to be a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream inside of a dream, and like what goes on in these stages. It's just a crazy film. This is a film that, again, when I first seen it, again, same vibes as Memento and now The Prestige, where it's genius level stuff to me and it's deep. And I mean, this is like the deepest one.
Yeah. Because
it has to just deal with the mind, and the mind is already so complex. There's so many different little things in this film that you have to try to break down and figure out, how does this make sense? How does this make sense? Does it even make sense? Towards the end too, like, you don't even really know exactly what happens. It kind of leaves you guessing, just because they have these totems that they have for themselves so they don't get confused. Are they in the dream or are they in real life? Because it can get confusing, especially because Cobb has experienced that with his wife, to where they weren't sure if they were in the dream or not in the dream. So he's already experienced that. So they came up with this totem thing, and at the end he's spinning it, but then the screen just cuts off. So you don't know if it keeps spinning or if it eventually stops. The thing about it though is at the end it's spinning, but it does kind of like jerk a little bit, like if it's slowing down, but it cuts off, so you don't.
He's explaining it because if it falls, then you're in the real world. But if it continuously spins without falling, then you're in the dream.
And it's also crazy, like, there's just so much, like, it's so hard to explain, and there's so much to explain that this review is not even going to do it justice. Like, this is like a movie that can go on for like an hour of talking.
And there's probably a lot of points that we won't even get to because we didn't like
understand it or catch it. Yeah, so it's crazy. It's so deep and there's so much to explain. But like I said, this review is not going to be an hour long, so we're not going to get into every little detail. But just know it's a crazy film that is entertaining, as long as you can kind of keep up with it for the most part. Because if you're just completely lost, obviously you're probably not going to be into the movie. But if you can kind of keep up with it, then I think it'd be more enjoyable, obviously. Yeah, I think this is another great film that you can talk about it afterwards. Yeah. And try to figure it out, because it's a puzzle. And that's what's crazy about this film. That's what's crazy about Christopher Nolan films. The more they progress, like The Prestige and stuff, like, there's so many layers to them, and like, it's just crazy how they tie in eventually. Even if you don't understand every single thing, you kind of get the main points and you can see how it ties in, and it's pretty crazy. Okay, so through the film, you've realized that he had to leave his kids, right? And the last thing he sees of them is in the yard playing with their backs turned. And then at the end, when he arrives back, they're in that same position, but they turn around fully, which they weren't doing that in the dream state. So that's what it makes you feel like, okay, he's out of the dream, but then they also looked exactly the same. They're wearing the same stuff. They're in the same position. They wouldn't be like that, I feel like, because he was gone. So
for years.
They would have been. So even though, like, in the dream state, you can be in there for an hour or whatever, and it's only like 5 minutes of real life time. But even if it was only an hour, just say it was definitely more than that. But say it was only an hour and 5 minutes time, they still wouldn't be in that same exact position. So that's where it's confusing. And then also with the totem again moving, and then it just cuts off. But I don't know. It's just so much. And then he just woke up on the plane. Remember, like before that, he just woke up and he was like back into the real world. I'm still not sure if he's in the real world or he's still in the dream at the end.
I believe he's still in the dream. I am very solid on the point that he is still in the dream.
But my thing is, there's so many different things that either go for or go against either side. Either he's in the dream or he's not in the dream, but there's things that point to where, well, he can't be in the dream because of this, or he has to be in the dream because of this.
First, I thought he was in the real world, but after thinking about it and everything that you watched within the 2.5 hours, I've come to the conclusion that he's in the dream.
I'm not going against either or, just because I have no clue.
It's just crazy how you would, not crazy how you would think of the idea to make a movie about it, but to execute that.
Execute it. It's the execution that is crazy.
Yeah.
Just the whole worlds that get created in these things and how they... Because for one, you have to do your homework on dreams and theories and stuff like that about that kind of stuff, for one, to even fully execute something like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so crazy. And the acting was really good. I think, again, Leonardo DiCaprio, for me... That's my GOAT. He killed it, as expected, but they all did, though. Like, they all did really good. Every single one of them. Like, this is another masterpiece type of film, only because of how deep and complex it is and how well it's executed. Genius level type stuff to be able to create something like this. To think about it in your head, even, obviously it wasn't just Christopher Nolan himself, his brother and whoever else they work with, all the people, but like coming together to create something like this, to me, is very hard compared to making 99% of films that you normally see. Like, not anybody can make something like this.
Yeah.
Is kind of what I'm trying to say. So you can't obviously go without talking about the effects in this film. Like, this is top notch. Everything about this film was top notch, from the writing to the acting to the effects. I mean, just everything. Just creating the surround, like when Ellen Page first went in there and she was like changing things and stuff, like it just all looked really good. But either way though, that's pretty much our thoughts on the film. I don't know if they were good thoughts, but they were honest thoughts. Like, they were just, it wasn't really a review too much either. It was kind of just thoughts, really. But either way though, that's our thoughts, like I said. So let's get into the ratings.
So because of the complexity of this movie, it added to the score a little bit, but also definitely took away from the score, just because just for the fact that I didn't understand. So, that being said, I will probably give this movie a 78. There was a lot that happened and a lot that I understood that made the movie very cool, but a lot that I didn't understand at the same time.
So, before I give you my score, for me, not knowing or understanding everything is sort of what boosts my score up a little bit. Only because I know things do tie in, and I know at the end it leaves you guessing. There's no like definitive answer, I feel like.
Per usual.
I don't know, maybe there is a definitive answer. Like, people that have done their research and rewatched it a million times and looked at every single detail and figured it out. I don't know, I haven't read up on any of that, but it doesn't seem like there's a definitive answer. It seems like it's kind of up for interpretation based on what happened prior. Does it feel like he's in the dream? Do you think he's not? Like, you know? So I don't know, but I like that because I know things do tie in, like the things that I can understand. I know things do tie in, and I think it's incredible the way someone can execute something like this, or people can execute something like this. So for me, it actually boosts my score, and for me, I gotta give this a 93. Either way though, that's gonna be it for the review. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. We appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're almost at 20, so 20 is a good number. Become the 20th person. So comment down below if you guys have seen this movie and let us know your thoughts on it, because we would like to know your thoughts. And if you have any crazy theories on it or anything, definitely let us know, because we would like to read those. And yeah. And
also comment down below if you've ever experienced dreaming within a dream. Like, if you've dreamt within a dream and then woke up and you're still in a dream.
But either way though, my name is Matt.
My name is Nicole.
And we'll catch you next time.
See